people. Start by saying, I am great at giving advice. And this whole thing will be about advice. I say this whole thing, whatever it is. Problem is that the same as everyone else, I'm shit at taking advice. I think it's because I don't really trust anyone, and a lot of the advice is all the same. Like, why I think I'm good at giving advice because I listen, and I try to make it exactly about them, and if I don't care about you, I won't give you advice. But then you have to ask, why do we give advice in the first place? Do we give advice, is it a want for a connection? Is that why we give advice? Is it a belief in superiority? So we give, look how good I am, I'm basking in my wisdom, and everyone else is thinking, what a wonderful man you are. I think that when we get advice, because we're so unwilling to accept it, we think two things mainly. It's either, when you get advice, it's either number one, look at your life, it's a travesty, yet you're giving me advice, wind it in, take your own advice, and then maybe I'll listen. Or it's two, which is, mate, look at your life, it's fantastic, as if you know the pain that is specific to me. How could you possibly give advice? I doubt you've ever been sad, except when you ran out of fucking hummus or some shit. I think accepting your own advice, I think that's a major problem with giving advice, is that no one actually accepts their own. I never do. I don't think I've ever taken my own advice in my life. I think with like MPs, like at the moment, we have our selection of MPs who are running the country. And MPs should have to prove they've taken their own advice before they're allowed to become MPs. I think that's because, let's be honest, all laws is advice that you have to take. That's all it is. Don't murder. That's my advice, but you actually have to do it. And it's the worst kind of advice as well, because it's always advice you've never asked for. One of the worst bits of going down the pub, innit? You know, you're having a chat and then someone overhears and says, well, if this is your problem, allow me to jump in and give my fucking 2 cents, you little knob shit. I think that's the problem I've got with some of the advice that is bandied around. It all just seems like baby's first philosophy. Like, oh, well, have you tried being happy? Oh, I didn't realise it was that fucking easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be walking around shitting rainbows all the time, wouldn't they? But they're not. I doubt I'm ever going to solve anything with any of these. But it does help to get out some thoughts. If you need any advice, just ask.